The darkness of space stretched endlessly, a black canvas speckled with distant stars. Among the infinite void, a fleet of human ships approached a massive alien vessel, known only as the Dark Ship. It had hung over the outer colonies for months, cutting off supplies and striking fear into the hearts of every human settlement. Humanity had endured countless challenges before, but this alien presence tested their spirit in ways they had never imagined. Commander Ray stood on the bridge of the flagship, Horizon gripping the railing as the ship trembled with the energy of its engines. Around him, his crew moved with precision, each action rehearsed and deliberate. The Dark Ship was unlike anything humans had encountered. Its hull absorbed light, and its weapons could disable entire fleets with a single shot. Yet humanity had one advantage: the unpredictability of their will and creativity. "Status report," Ray said, his voice steady despite the tension that hummed in the air. Lieutenant Mara, young but fiercely competent, tapped at the holographic console. "Shields at 80%, weapons ready, but their energy output is increasing," she reported. Her eyes did not leave the display. "Sensors detect multiple approaching fighters. They're faster than anything we've faced." Ray nodded, absorbing the information. He had faced impossible odds before, and he knew humanity's strength was not in superior technology alone. It was in adaptation. In thinking beyond the limitations that bound other species, the first wave of alien ships struck without warning. Bright streaks of light tore across the void, and explosions blossomed like deadly flowers against the darkness. Horizon's shields flared as energy weapons met human defenses. The crew responded with disciplined efficiency, evading some attacks while returning fire with concentrated laser beams. Amid the chaos, Ray spotted a pattern. The alien fighters moved in rigid formations, predictable in their precision but vulnerable to creative maneuvers. He barked commands, directing small groups to break formation and flank the attackers. Humans darted through the void, weaving between enemy fire with daring maneuvers that no algorithm could anticipate. In the midst of the battle, a smaller human ship, the Falcon, was hit and spun out of control. Its pilot, young and inexperienced, struggled to stabilize the craft. Ray's voice cut through the comms. "Hold on, we're coming for you." The Falcon's crew watched in awe as Horizon and the escort ships coordinated a complex rescue operation. While alien ships concentrated on the larger vessels, humans moved with agility and ingenuity. They drew lines of fire, created diversions, and exploited weaknesses. The Falcon was saved, its crew cheering through comes despite the damage. Beyond the dogfights, the Dark Ship loomed like a shadow over the battlefield. It was not just a ship. It was a fortress, a monument to alien superiority. Yet humanity refused to bend. Ray initiated the next phase of their plan. A squad of human engineers, equipped with experimental boarding pods, launched toward the Dark Ship. The pods clung to the hull like metallic insects, absorbing minor impacts from defensive fire. Inside, the engineers worked in tense silence, navigating corridors that pulsed with alien energy. Their goal was simple in theory: plant disruption charges that would disable the ship's energy core long enough for the fleet to strike. Lieutenant Mara monitored their progress, her fingers dancing across the controls. "They're almost to the core," she reported, her voice calm but tense. "We have a narrow window before the ship can recalibrate its defenses." As the engineers reached the core, alarms echoed through the alien vessel. A low, resonant hum filled the corridors, and lights flared with an intensity that made even seasoned humans flinch. Yet they pressed on, driven by a single thought: survival. Humanity would not bow, not when the universe itself seemed against them. The charges were set, and the engineers retreated just as the core erupted in controlled explosions. The Dark Ship shuddered violently, and energy waves rippled across space. Alien fighters were thrown into disarray, giving the human fleet the opening they needed. Ray seized the moment. "All ships full attack," he ordered. Lasers, missiles, and experimental plasma beams converged on the alien vessel, striking in unison. The Dark Ship could not withstand the combined force. Its hull cracked, Massive sections disintegrated in bright bursts that illuminated the battlefield like a new sun, even as the dark ship fell. The human fleet remained vigilant. Space was never truly safe, but for the first time in months, humanity had proven that fear was not their master. They had stared into the void and emerged victorious, not through superior numbers alone, but through ingenuity, courage, and an unyielding spirit. After the battle, the survivors gathered aboard Horizon. The damaged ships had returned, and crews repaired what they could. Ray looked at his team, proud but weary. "We faced a darkness that threatened to consume us," he said quietly, "and we did not falter. Humanity adapts, and we endure. Remember that." Omara smiled faintly. "We showed them that no matter how advanced, no matter how terrifying, they cannot break what we are." The stars stretched before them, endless and full of promise. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, not as prey, but as a force to be reckoned with. The Dark Ship War would be remembered not for the fear it inspired, but for the courage it revealed. And in the silent void, humanity's light burned brighter than any darkness could ever hope to extinguish. The fleet moved forward, battered but unbroken, carrying hope and resilience to every corner of the galaxy. Each human aboard knew that the universe would test them again, but they would be ready. They were no longer just survivors. They were victors. And the legacy of that day, when humanity stood against an alien overlord and prevailed, would echo through the stars for generations to come in the end. The dark ship had fallen, but humanity's spirit remained unshakable, a beacon for all who would come after. The war was over, but the story of their triumph had just begun.